Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Welcome to the Week 4 recap on DraftKings, where we're going to go over everything that I did in Week 4 of NFL. We're going to go over my Best Buys article. We're going to look at how that performed, all my predictions on players, my write-ups on them, see where I was right, see where I was wrong, see where maybe we got lucky if I was right, see where maybe we got unlucky if I was wrong, or if it was just a bad pick entirely. So a lot of stuff to go over there. We're going to take a look at my high-stakes lineups on both DraftKings and FanDuel, my Millionaire lineups on DraftKings and FanDuel. We're going to look at the Listener League, talk about the top 10 lineups in there and who won that. Congratulations to the winners. That will be back again in Week 5, and I believe that they're going to make it slightly bigger. So you guys really have to get in there, smizzle.tv/league. As soon as I get a link, that will be updated every single week. There will always be a link right down below in the description for the Listener League. Just click show more on the description. But thank you for making it over to the second channel, because this is where the recap lives, because the first channel is extremely crowded during NFL season. So thank you for making it over here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and leave me a reply down below. Let me know how you did in Week 4. And let's go over all of the things in the autopsy so we can get better in Week 5. Let's hit it.
He's a legend.
All right, so here's my ESPN Plus article. Best Buys comes out every single week. I write it on Wednesdays. It comes out on Thursday mornings. I try to update things if and when I can. Here it is. I assume that you have ESPN Plus because like 100 million people have Disney Plus. And if you have Disney Plus, you have ESPN Plus. And if you don't, you should go towards remedying that. Then you can get the article. So like, it's not free, but it's like basically free based on how many people have the thing. Josh Allen did not work out, and it was not because of the rain. 20 of 29 for 248 and 2 touchdowns, but like all of his incomplete passes came inside the 15-yard line, and they kicked about 47 field goals instead of converting touchdowns in the first half, even though they hung a massive score on the Texans this week because they're just better, right? The Bills are just built different. Ran 6 times for 41 yards, no touchdowns, 21 DraftKings points, but did not really correlate with his stacks. He just didn't do it. Unless you stacked him in a skinny stack with Dawson Knox, he did not pay off for you. But if you played him in cash, he was fine. Jalen Hurts, 31.18 DraftKings points. He still awaits all of those apology letters that y'all have not sent him from the offseason. 32 of 48, 387 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 rushes, 47 yards, no touchdowns. A massive day. Once again, one of the best fantasy quarterbacks through the first 4 weeks of the season. No games under 21 fantasy points thus far. He will have one at some point, but that rushing floor is what we're looking for. Dak Prescott only threw the ball 22 times this week. We have spoken so often during the offseason and in the middle of the season as well on the DFS videos that like quarterback fantasy scoring is more reliant on efficiency than it is on volume. What's been great about the Cowboys is that their defense hasn't been amazing, allowing other teams to score a ton of points, which makes the Cowboys have to throw the ball a ton more. But right now, this has become a much improved defense, and the running game for the Cowboys, with that offensive line being way healthier this year, has turned them into kind of a ball control, running, and defense team, and we may have to readjust moving forward if the Carnival is shut down for 2021. 14 completions, 22 attempts, 188 yards, but 4 touchdowns and 4 rushing attempts for 35 yards, giving him a little bit of a higher floor there. 27.02 DraftKings points. So a smash again from the quarterback here, even though he only threw it 22 times. Baker Mayfield, while we were also interested in him because there was a possibility this game would shoot out and come at a lower percentage in tournaments, but he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat in Week 4. Odell Beckham Jr. should have probably had about 250 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, but like he was wide open and just missed him a bunch. 15 of 33 for 155 and no touchdowns ain't good enough. Sam Darnold was good enough, completing 26 of 39 passes for 300 yards, got you 301 yards, got you the bonus, 2 touchdowns through the air, 2 interceptions because he's Sam Darnold, ran 6 times for 35 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I guess your best running back in the league thus far this season in 2021 has been Sam Darnold, continues to be so. 36.54 points, absolute smash play. So we nailed it on at least 3 of the 5 quarterbacks, and Josh Allen was a miss, but with 21 points. So like not that big of a miss. Alvin Kamara, I put him in here because I assume that the Saints know that Alvin Kamara is really good at pass catching. But apparently they've forgotten that, and it's a problem. And they're not throwing the ball, and Derrick Henry is getting thrown the ball. So the cash game play pivoted to Henry as soon as Arthur Juan and Julio were out for the Sunday game. This pivoted for me, and I had more Henry than I had Kamara. For cash games, we talked about that on the show. For cash games, don't overthink it. Just play the guy that everybody's going to play. Play the right lineup, the one that projects for the most points in your optimizer. That's basically what you should be doing, and you lock a couple of players. So you would have locked Henry and gone from there. But Alvin Kamara, 15 fantasy points, 0 catches on 0 targets, 0 receiving yards, and 0 touchdowns. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, Plutarski. 26 rushes, though, for 120 yards and no touchdowns, but, you know, continues to get it done on the ground. But, like, bringing back the Alvin Kamara that got 15 carries and 9 targets. That's the Alvin Kamara that we know and love. If he's just going to be a ground and pound guy, that's not what we want. Jonathan Taylor, I got lucky here. I'm willing to admit it. He's really good, guys. We didn't get lucky on that. He's an extremely talented back. We also knew that his touchdown expectation was going to regress towards the mean in a good way, because he was leading the league and continues to lead the league, and inside the 5 carries. He had 6 of them through the first 3 weeks and had 0 touchdowns. He got another one this week. He did have a touchdown, not necessarily on that carry, though, but those do end up being, you know, the most valuable carries that you can get. 16 carries, 103 yards, because he's good. Got you the bonus. 1 touchdown on the ground. 3 catches on 3 targets for 14 yards. 23.4 points on only 40% of the running back snaps for Indianapolis, because they're doing that stupid thing where they try and play Marlon Mack and run him 10 times, and they play Nyheim Hines. And they're like, just play Jonathan Taylor 70% of the snaps. You're a better team when you do that. So just do the thing. Keep it simple, stupid. David Montgomery, 58. Hundo got injured late in this game, but before he left the game with a knee injury, thank God it was not like something that needs reconstructive surgery, at least so it seems early. He's going to need a few weeks off here. At least it's going to be week to week at best. 23 carries, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did not catch any balls because he did not need to. And like they only let Fields throw it like 17 times, so whatever. 25.6 DraftKings points, absolute smash play, more than 4xing his salary. Najee Harris, 21.1, 15 carries, 60 yards and a touchdown, caught 6 of 7 balls headed his way for 29 yards. We'll take it. More than 3x there. Trey Sermon got all the work that we wanted. I put a note in late that if Elijah Mitchell was active, we're not interested in Sermon, but Sermon was going to be the guy that got all the work. They just didn't throw him the ball. Pretty efficient on the ground, 19 carries, 89 yards, but no touchdowns. The way that they're utilizing him, he's going to have to get into the end zone, but that price tag was pretty simple for us to find value. They're only 8.9 points, so a miss, but I'll take that swing pretty much every single week at that price point with that volume expected. DJ Moore, another absolute smash, 8 catches, 12 targets, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, brick. And part of that brick has got to be tied to the fact that Dak Prescott threw the ball 22 times. We rely on targets. Dak Prescott, when healthy, the last year and a half, right? So the 5 games are from last year that he started and finished, and all of the games this year that he started and finished, he's averaging like 38, 39 pass attempts per game. When he throws it 22 times, there just aren't as many targets to go around, and you have to be ridiculously efficient with the ones that you get, because nobody's going to get a lot of targets with that. So Schultz was efficient. And Cooper was efficient because catching balls that went for like 20 plus yards and or a touchdown led to them having good fantasy days, but like there was just not enough meat on the bone. 2 catches on 5 targets for 13 yards. This is just a weird miss. I'm going to keep going back to CeeDee Lamb, especially in spots where I think that the Cowboys are going to be throwing the ball. He is the primary receiver on that team right now. Even as hurt as Amari Cooper looked yesterday, adding a hamstring injury to his already dealing with his rib injuries. If you want to call this an L, call it an L. I'm going to keep going back to that in future weeks. Robert Woods finally paid off for us. Some would say got bailed out by a late touchdown, but touchdowns just kind of happen and we can't really predict them. 4 catches on 6 targets, 48 yards. The volume continues to be a problem, but as the price goes down, it's less of a problem. 6 targets for like 7K would be a problem. 6 targets for 4 to 5K to 5,500, less of a problem, especially when you have the touchdown upside that you get when you're going with the Rams offense. 14.8 DraftKings points. He was fine. Odell Beckham Jr. was not fine. 2 catches on 7 targets for 27 yards. I have a note here. It says Baker sucked. So like that is what it is. Jalen Reagor, this should have been Devonta Smith. And if you guys watch the shows on the streams on Thursday and Friday and listen Sunday morning, I had pivoted heavily off of Reagor and onto Devonta Smith. Reagor did not get it done. 1 catch on 1 target. I'll take an L there. Should have been Devonta Smith, but it wasn't. Travis Kelce, decoy mode for him. 4 catches on 6 targets, 23 yards. Patrick Mahomes was throwing windmill softball passes for underhanded touchdowns to Madden creative players this week. So 6.3 points, we lose that one. Logan Thomas, he got injured, whatever. Injuries happen. Hopefully we can just turn them off moving forward. Noah Fant had 16.6 points, so he was a smash at 4.3K. 10 targets, that's going to maintain as long as Jerry Jeudy's out. There's just nobody to throw the ball to right now. Might be worse if Drew Lock has to take over in the short to medium term for full games, but we'll see how it goes. He's just way less accurate, way more uncatchable balls when Drew Lock is throwing them versus Teddy Two Gloves. Freiermuth, 1 catch, 1 target. We said that he was a dart throw. The Muth was not Luth in week 4, 2.1 DraftKings points. Let's take a look at my high stakes lineup. Didn't get there because I had CeeDee Lamb. He was somebody that I was hanging my hat on. Terrace Marshall did not make it either. And I was forcing something this week. For those of you who watched like the stream on Friday and then listened yesterday, one of my flag plant players of the week was Deontay Johnson because of the expectation that Deontay Johnson has. Anytime that he starts and finishes a game, he's going to get double-digit targets. And looking back historically at this year and the trailing 3, the average points per target for somebody with Deontay Johnson's ADOT, average depth of target, on DraftKings is 1.66 points per target. So if you're projecting Deontay Johnson at 1.66 points per target, knowing that he's going to get 10 targets anytime that he plays a game, his projection should never be like 10 or 12. And that's where it was on basically every single site across the industry. He ended up with 24.2 points. I changed him to a median of like 16 with a ceiling of 28 to make him pop in my lineups because he was a guy that I wanted to take a stand on. And if Chase Claypool was not ruled out, I still would have had that same target expectation. These first 2 weeks that he played were with Chase Claypool, and he still got the same amount of targets. His ADOT fits right in with what Ben can do right now. If Ben's average depth of throw is getting shorter, which it has in 2021 versus previous years, that's where Deontay Johnson operates. So like him not being able to throw deep hurts Juju more. It hurts Chase Claypool more. It doesn't hurt Deontay Johnson. Like Ben's talent skill set right now fits what Deontay Johnson can do. So that forced me onto a lot of Devontae Adams, who I thought was going to have a tremendous day and was a more chalky play. This was a way for me to cut that down. I had the double stack of Prescott with Lamb and Schultz, brought it back with Marshall, did not work. Deontay Johnson, if I'd used him as a one-off, that would have allowed me to get off of Lamb onto Amari Cooper, and Marshall would have won up to DJ Moore. I was trying to get off of a lot of play off people. It didn't work, and I guess I'm just going to keep riding Nick Chubb until the wheels fall off, because if the field's going to be under 5% on this guy, he has a 30-point DraftKings day in him. I just hope that he can get there and I can be on the right stack, double stack, bring back, and secondary stack on the week that he does, because if he continues to be underplayed because of all the legitimate fears that Hunt is going to be the guy who scores, Nick Chubb is going to break a slate one day. I'm hoping that I'm going to be on him on the day that he does. My Millionaire Maker lineups, show only mine, please. We'll take a look at these real quick. My highest lineup was 182.8. That was a Jalen Hurts single stack with Smith. Bring it back with Hill. Kittle was a snowflake. Ridley in this one. Samuel was the bring back there. Devonta Smith was the guy I said was my preferred guy based on the amount of targets that he gets, the amount of end zone looks. He had a touchdown call back as he stepped out of bounds. Absolute big day from him as well. Henderson looked real good at sub 5, but that Rams offense did absolute diddly. Dave Montgomery was a flag plant play for me as well. Looking over at FanDuel, same sort of operation that I had going on over there. My highest score finished in the Millionaire Maker in 234th. You can see that I'm building these lineups pretty much the same way. We were talking about going with Jalen Hurts skinnies all week. Hurts to Smith, brought it back with Tyreek Hill, Ezekiel Elliott, Dave Montgomery, Antonio Gibson. And my secondary stack was Debo and Disley. Disley did nothing. Disley did diddly. Looking at my Cage match against Davis Maddock. I'm going to have to pay $50 to his charity. Gladly will do so. Money going to charity is always great. Cannot believe that I lost this game. All I can do with the cage matches is try to be ahead on projectable points in terms of median and ceiling. I've done that 3 times this year out of the 4 cage matches, and my lineup was a flippin' blizzard. Serve it up to Dairy Queen with Kirk Cousins, CeeDee Lamb, Marshall, Kelsey, Hines, like one flame emoji, and like the Jets defense was fine. So no matter what mistake he made going with Madison over, like the game theory play for him here in that specific cage match, if he's like, well, I want access to the value guy, was not to pick Madison. It would have been to pick Cook. But the one that made more sense was picking Henderson from the Rams. And then if he's out, then you could easily pivot for like 400 less, because you can swap out a player only if they're out in a cage match, to Sony Michel. That would have been the thing that would have left him out for basically the same price. But he won, so who cares? So congratulations to Davis on winning that cage match. And this week we have Paul Sporer coming into the cage. So looking forward to that. Paul's an old friend of mine. He's an excellent baseball writer and super smart fantasy guy. Here was our Smiz Gang Listener League. It's going to get bigger this week. Make sure that you jump in there. Smizzle.tv/league. As soon as that link is changed in Bitly, it will take you right there. Team Ninja Boot with a Heineke stack. Heineke to McLaurin. He brought that back with CPAT, who went absolutely bonkers on like less than 40% of snaps. Derrick Henry to Davis on a secondary stack, and then a few one-offs who went completely bonkers with Debo and DJ Moore. He also had Freiermuth in his lineup. You don't have to have, when Tyreek Hill had 50 points, it was like, wow, Tyreek Hill is going to break this slate and everybody's going to have him. The Millionaire Maker winner did not have Tyreek Hill in his lineup. And our Smiz Gang winner did not have Tyreek Hill. Quick and efficient running a train here with all 3 of his lineups with 1. Don't do this in tournaments, guys. All the money's up top, but congratulations to you for splitting 4th, 5th, and 6th between yourself, taking home all 3 of those. Differentiate your lineups. If you're going to play 3 lineups, pick 3 high stacks that you think can go off. Play them the right way. I don't care who they are. Play your stack, skinny stack or double stack. Have a secondary stack in there, and hopefully you come up on top. Steve GVP with 225. Team Ninja Boot, another one in the top 10. His other lineup, also a Heineke stack. Quick and efficient with 3. His play that he went with, oh look, a Mahomes stack with a almost double with Hill and Hardman. He had Nick Chubb. He had CPAT, Davis, Samuel, Ertz. You know, just good plays up and down the lineup. Flat Tyler, Mick Pickle, Double J, and Jay Sanders. So congrats to all the winners, and jump in that listener league moving forward. Here's the Guillotine League over at ESPN. Apparently they were talking about this on the 06010 podcast this morning, as Field Yates is in danger. I'm in danger. Fields got to sweat like 19 points. Where's the team that's chasing him? Off the inventor of the guillotine, Maximilian Robespierre, who needs 18.9 PPR points from one Austin Eckler, who Mike Clay has projected at 17.9. It's going to be an absolute sweat for Field and Kevin tonight in that league. My team did very well. Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry. I picked up Chase Edmonds off of waivers this week, paid a couple $100 to get him because I needed that secondary running back. Terry McLaurin, Robert Woods, Logan Thomas got hurt. I'm going to have to replace him. Luckily, I have Juwan Johnson, even though he's not amazing. He doesn't get a ton of volume, and this is a floor league. You want to have a lot of floor because you just don't want to be in last, right? So like a guy like Juwan Johnson is a good backup, but I'm probably going to have to improve my tight end spot, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Waddle, and I've still got Edwards to go. I'm safe though. Picked up Taylor and Stevenson this week, hoping that one of them would get some run with James White out. Neither of them did because JJ Taylor fumbled, and now he's in the dungeon. I do have Damian Williams, who I could plug into the flex if David Montgomery misses time. This is the 0 running back strategy, and we will be getting Jerry Jeudy back off of IR at some point. So this team in the flex does look a lot better moving forward, assuming that Damian Williams and Jeudy plug in here for Waddle and Edwards, and then maybe I can pick somebody else up that's better than them to give me a higher floor expectation every single week. Going over to the Scott Fish Bowl, I'm losing right now to good friend Dana Warby Robinson, but I'm losing by 1 point, what? I can't do math. 1.06 fantasy points. I have Hunter Renfrow remaining. If White Lightning can get me, 2 fantasy points, I walk away with a W and we'll move to 3-1 on the season. And that's without Christian McCaffrey the last few weeks. So if I get him back, I'm dangerous in the SFB. That's going to do it for this week's show. Hopefully you guys liked it. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, jump in the Listener League for week 5, and I'll see you on the main channel for the rest of the week. Bye.
He's a legend.